Okay, hello anyone that's tuning into this video. This is going to be a let's look at GamesGoMakers. This is a still reasonably new indie game. I believe it came out within the last 2 months on Steam, and it's gotten near no attention. The game has its ups and downs. As you can see, this is the main menu, or rather just the main screen. And you can kind of see development is hinted as the Pac-Man, or ghost that looks like Pac-Man, slowly evolves pixel art, or advanced pixel art, and then vector graphics, shaded vector graphics. Now, before getting into anything, I'm going to go into the main menu now. This is the game's weakness. One of them is the UI. The user interface definitely needs a lot of work. This can turn a lot of people off, as well as the settings are very lacking. It actually took quite a while to get this to record, since there's no possible windowed mode or any options really for resolution. I assume it uses desktop resolution, which is, you can live with it. Now, let's get into the game. I don't think there's anything important here. There's a few language supports. Go into a new game. Once you make a new game, you can choose a company name. So I will go with Yuki Incorporated, and I'll be YuukiRus. I'll set the difficulty level to easy just for demonstration, and you can choose your starting year, your view mode. Okay, I take it back. There is a windowed mode, but they decided not to put it in the settings. It's in your actual start the game area, which is strange. Okay, that aside, there is some customization, but it's not the most powerful you will ever find. It's just some color changes, a few fashion changes. There we go. As color clashy as possible. Set your name, get into the game. Now, here's where the strategy of the game finally comes into play. You get to choose from multiple different, let's say, what your talents are. So you can say, I'm more shaped to be good at designing gameplay, I'm good at designing content design, and I'm good at designing game writing. Now, because this is easy, I actually got more points than I usually would. Usually you upgrade a point and you only get, it goes to level 2, not 3 instantaneously. So that shows a little bit of shaping. Now, another nice little feature, once you get into the game, it has a little map, and you get to choose any country you'd like to go to. So I'm going to go to my home country, wait for it to load, and here we are. You get to choose a wallpaper, just a nice little effect. Bear in mind it is the 80s, so I'm going to go with this. I can picture someone in the 80s having a studio with this wallpaper. Okay, now go ahead, click on your character, and then start your business by creating your first game. Have fun! Click on my character, start a new project. Once again, this is where some strategy gets into the game. You get to name a game, so I'm going to go Contra. I will choose an action, and this is the genre of your game, or genre, however you would like to pronounce it. You get to unlock more as you go on, as the decades pass and more show up. You also get more styles of graphics and things like that. So what I'm going to do now is go for an action platformer named Contra. I'm going to do it for the Itapi, which you might see some similarities there, which I won't mention. And one thing I actually haven't mentioned, the music or soundtrack for this game. It's limited, but it is quite a nice soundtrack, and it won't drive you too mad as you play. Now the Itapi, you can see it has a license cost, so I have to pay them $50,000 to get to use their device. Now, I'm gonna do it, because it's permanent rights. I don't have to do this every game. Yeah, and now I'm very unknown. Oh, and here is where you get to choose some more options you unlock. Right now, it has to have a basic audio system or basic sound, and it has to be a text-based game, because we're very early. We're at the beginning of the 1980s. Now, here's where you design your game a little bit. Different genres have their strong points. For example, this is an action game. People want gameplay to be a huge focus. Less so though, because action games, they want graphics in this game. That is the main thing that they adore, in this game. Now, sorry for the Steam overlay. Overall, it's This is where the game comes apart slightly. If you want to spend hundreds of hours on the game, you'll eventually be able to beat this game with high scores. That is the strong point, but the weak point is that there is specific formulas. Action gamers in this game will always love graphics the most, for example. They want level design, and sound design as well. They don't care at all about game writing, so on and so forth. I've yet to come across the perfect formula, but I've seen that there's basically formulas given out online, and it's like, here, if you use this, your game is amazing. So, I'm gonna go with this. I think it's pretty good settings. Now once you choose that, the game goes into development. Now you get to choose the balance of violence. The more yellow, the higher it is. Action gamers, I found that they like violence, and this is the balance I usually go with, which people seem to like. You get to choose the story, which is... I'll go into that in a little bit, actually. Now, you also get to choose what translations they'll be in. This will cost you money. Quite a bit if you want to support all the languages, but it's worth it in the end. If you get a huge trending game and you hit a trend that came up, which I'll talk about soon, it can make the difference between a good selling game and an amazing selling game. Okay, now, I've set the minor things of the game going, and you can see by this little Pac-Man over here that my mouse is hovering over, that it's 20% done, almost. And here's where trends are, where I was talking about. There's a strong trend for Wild West games coming up. So actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the game. I know you can cancel the game's development, quit. Are you sure? Yes. Now, I just have to wait a moment, start a new project. I'm going to try and hit this trend, because it makes a huge difference on your game sales. Action platformer, Contra, because where you choose the story of the game already passed me. I couldn't have changed what I was developing, it was too late. So I'm going to do everything again. Yes. I believe I went with something like this. Okay, that should do. Now, there is another thing about trends will end, of course. So, if I miss it, this could easily break me. I'm gonna go balls deep, spend 30k on this. So I'm gonna see how well this does. Let's see. Well, this will take quite a while. But in the meantime, I suppose I can talk about a few other elements. Your market does have some helpful information in it that I don't particularly use much. You can go to the game market here, which is not available yet because games are so early in development that there is no game market yet. You can't view the stats openly yet. But this lets you see the trending games and what's sold the most and where you stand with them. The map is just the map. It's exactly what you'd expect, and it can show you actually where all the gaming studios are, and there's quite a few already. There's a few other things, like you can see the market share, which is, you know, who has the most... which console is getting the most money of gaming. So in real life it would be, let's say Steam on PC is getting 50% of the market share, Xbox is getting 20, and PS4 is getting 30. All made up numbers, but that is what it's referring to. Overall, this game is very fun, and once this is done you get to choose a little design for the box. I'll just go with something random like that, be all flashy. It's not too advanced, but it works, gets the job done. But yeah, that happens at around 70% every time. Now let's see if I hit the trend. Actually, another thing I did not speak about in this game yet is once you get big, you get to actually be like a real industry. You can go into renting new buildings, hiring employees to get different offices with different jobs, and they can help make your games develop faster, and their skills go into your games, making them better. Now, I just gained experience for releasing my first game, so I get to choose a point, and I'm going to put it in level design. And you can see that it just raised my skill points a little. And you can see the balance I put into this game. The higher your skill points as well, the average market price for this kind of game is $23, so I'm gonna go for 25. But where was I? I can't remember. Now, here's another thing. I released the game, and now a critic has made a review of the game. Now, my game actually did very well. This is a very good score. Bear in mind this gets much more difficult, and there is no way I would do this late into the game with the current skill level that I have right now. But, as you can see, it gives the pros, the cons, and if you fail, it'll give you some things you should improve on. Yeah, the higher your skill points are, which is what I forgot to say earlier. Say I have a 10 in graphics design and 1 in another thing. If I put 4 points into, let's say, writing, and I have no level ups in that tree, it won't give me much benefit. Even then, even after putting 4 points in, which is the maximum, it's questionable how much money, I mean, if it would even be reviewed well, because sure, I put loads of points into the writing tree, but I am a terrible writer. I have no skill in it in this game, so it wouldn't matter much. But if I put 1 point and I had 20 level ups in graphics, it would be reviewed amazingly, because my man is just an intelligent man with graphics and design. So yeah, as you can see, over here at the top right is how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. My game sold amazingly because I hit the Wild West theme. You can see I'm getting money like crazy now. This is pretty rare, but okay, there's a new trend out, so I think I will go into researching instead. What you can do is you can spend some money and some time to go into researching special things that help advance your game. I will show you that once I've actually researched. Okay, so I've got new research now. What I'm going to do is actually make a sequel. The Wild West theme died and a samurai theme has come up, so I'm going to go for action, platforming, Contra, samurai, for the Atapi, and oh, yes, here it is. Before I did the research, this was basic sound. Now it's mono sound, which I'm not an expert in this, but I believe mono just means you can hear audio either from left or right, so it's directional. I could be completely wrong in that and then get screamed at, but oh well. Now, I think the last way I designed this was pretty good, so I'm gonna go with that again. Killing a few things. Did I do something different? There. That ought to do it. Actually, here's a nice button. You can choose your previous settings for what you did to make a game that was similar to this. So there we go. That button definitely helps you when you need to improve certain things. I'm sorry, my voice is crackling up a little from speaking up. Okay, I think this is good. I can't forget to add a samurai theme, and I'm going to invest deeply into this once again. Gonna add a little more violence. There we go. Okay, the game is developing, not too slow, so that's good. If I make enough money off of this title, and I'm not going to be making money off of Contra forever. You can see over here the progress on how much money I'm making from it, and when that's going to end. Well, the money I'm making is here. When that is going to end is here. It goes off of the market. But yeah, I am actually very close to being able to afford to buy a new building and hire some employees just to demonstrate. It might not be a good idea to do it economically right now, because I might go bankrupt just from hiring them too soon. Going too big too soon. Okay. This chart that comes up after your game has come off the market shows how much they liked the balance of violence, explicit language, and sexual content in the game. This helps you shape it so that more people come join your game. And another element I just completely forgot to speak about. After releasing a good game, I got fans. Fans are just... they boost how your sales will go. They spread the word, they come to you when you release a good game. They also leave if you don't do any content at all. Just gonna click the randomize button a few times. So yeah, They are helpful, but I find them wonky as they just randomly leave while I'm in the middle of developing another game that I think would do quite well. But I never do well in the end game. Okay, so once this game is out, I'm going to try and rent a building, if I'm able to yet, because it's time-stamped. One moment, please. Okay, sorry about that. Now the game is developed. The average price is 21 bucks. I think 25 will do fine. They can give me some money, it's just a video game. And as you can see, I'm doing amazing in sales. I'm getting 6,000 every tick. And here's my... The year basically just ended. It's going to end today at least. So this is how much money I've got this month. I gained 98,000 since I started with 150. Pretty good. I made some money. Here's a review of my new Contra game. Pretty good. I don't think I can improve on much. Sweet. Apparently I have great boss fights. I don't remember putting boss fights in there. Yeah, and my money is going through the roof right now. I'm sure once it's off the market I'll have a lot of fans from this as well. Let's see. Yeah, there's not too much I can do yet. But I think I am going to go over a few more features that this game has and then call it quits. This is just a let's look at, not a let's play. If a let's play is wanted, I might do that too. Let's go into training, programming. I apologize greatly for that. Okay, so there it goes. I'm very sorry for the Skype ticking. I will fix that right now. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Oh, and here, perfect timing, is another thing that the game does. As time goes on, because it's been going on a daily basis, new consoles come out. So the Atabi 2600 has been replaced by the 5200. So it has some variation. You start moving to different consoles and you get dedication points for sticking to certain consoles. It's a very nice system overall. Now another thing you can do is you can actually train him. So you can go into Introduction to Game Design, and that'll give me some points related to game design. So, okay, I think I'm just gonna bring this video to a close. Overall, it's a very good game. It definitely needs some work on the user interface, and could do with some variation, because the game does feel a little samey through the whole game, and I kind of wish there was more character creation, but overall, it's a really fun game. You can get really into this for quite a few hours. If you want to pick it up on Steam, I highly recommend you do. I will leave a link in the video description. Thanks for watching. If you want to see other videos on a daily basis, please like and subscribe to my channel, and you will see them in your feed, obviously. Thank you for watching. Bye.